Okay, welcome to Next Level Marketing in Action by Harmony 3 Productions. I'm your host, Irene Cho. This webinar is brought to you in partnership with EWDD, BusinessSource Pico-Union Westlake region operated by Pace Business Development Center and Harmony 3 Productions. This webinar will be recorded and you may find it on our website, eLibrary, after a week or two. Um, Please mute yourself during the webinar. We will, if you have a question, please use the chat box and then writing questions so Ronnie can just check time to time during the webinar. Um, we have a lot of things to cover today. So, okay, now let's get started on today's webinar. And please welcome Ronnie Ramos.
Thank you. So I'm excited to talk about LinkedIn today because it really is, I think, my favorite social media platform. Let me know in chat if you are using it for your business now, and let me know what type of business that you have. Everything that I'm going to be talking about today can really work for pretty much any kind of business. And LinkedIn is, I just think it is more business oriented, and I'm just excited to be able to share my best tips on using LinkedIn with you today. So, in this day and age of AI, this is really me. I'm sitting here with you today. That's why I keep saying chat is open. If you have questions on anything digital marketing, that's my favorite playground. Video, photography, motion graphics, the new AI tools, all of it is digital marketing, and that's what my company specializes in. So, you've got me for an hour today. I'm happy to look over to chat and answer your questions as best I can. If you would like to follow me on LinkedIn, I would love that. On LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramos, and on most other social, I'm under my business name, which is Harmony 3 Productions. If you want my best tips on a semi-regular basis, you can sign up for my newsletter. You will be getting access to the video, so you can just take your phone out, or you can take your phone out now, scan the QR code, and sign up for my newsletter. I think my newsletter is where it's just our little inner circle, and I can demo things more when they're just not quite ready for a webinar yet. So it's a very I'm testing things out there, and I'd love to have you so I could kind of see what you think about some of the new AI tools that we're all using these days. Okay, so why do I think LinkedIn is awesome for businesses? Well, it has a lot of high buying power. 4 out of 5 LinkedIn users drive business decisions in terms of purchasing. And it's B2B focused as opposed to business to consumers, business to business. And LinkedIn really is generating about 80% of the B2B leads on across all social media. So if you're a business selling to business, it's a good place to be. And it's an opportunity to get a lot more views on your work, your product, your service. Whatever your business is, LinkedIn is a great place to showcase it. And I love that on LinkedIn, organic reach still works. Most of the other platforms, it is pay to play. So running ads and can get expensive. LinkedIn organic is still working. And I'm going to give you my best tips how to get the most out of that. But if you want to run ads on LinkedIn, absolutely. They have ads that you can run just like on any of the other social channels. So I see Marlo uses LinkedIn for coaching services. Excellent. Sherry uses LinkedIn to stay visible to other people in inventing business. Oh, I love that. Excellent. And don't overlook the value of LinkedIn as a networking tool. I love that Sherry's saying using it to stay visible with other people in our industry. Absolutely. And I'm going to be giving you more tips as we go through how you can stay visible in those markets that you are in, and you want to be seen as that industry leader. But let's start with your headline. So this is your personal page, as we're talking about, because LinkedIn starts with your personal page. Yes, you can have business pages, but it's all tied to your personal page. So your headline should reflect you. Does it reflect who you want to reach? And does it tell me how you can help me? Because as a viewer, that's what you want. You want a company that has a product or a service that is going to help you. So that's what your content should be geared towards. Your headline these days should be what we call keyword rich. So go beyond your job title, include specialties that you have and things that you offer of value. For example, digital marketing strategist driving 3 times ROI for tech startups. If that's what you do, that says it pretty clearly. You have very limited space in your headline itself. You have a lot more in your about section. So that headline should be to the point and let them know immediately how you can help them. I use AI these days for so many different things, but absolutely you can use it to optimize your about section. So how could that help? Well, it can analyze your role and your industry and your target audience. It can suggest keyword rich headlines that would work for you and summaries that can really improve your search visibility. So instead of business consultant that helps companies grow, AI could help refine that to business consultant, helping SMBs improve cash flow, team performance, and exit value. That's a lot more specific. It's more searchable and more relevant in terms of profile views, and AI can help you with that. So Roxy, I see a hand raised. Do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask me your question? Roxy, do you want to unmute? Okay, sometimes people raise their hand and they don't realize I can let you talk if you'd like to. But if you'd like to talk, go ahead and raise your hand and I can unmute you. We can have a conversation today. Okay, Roxy, let's try one more time. Do you want to go ahead and unmute? Okay, well, maybe you can, sometimes people's microphones don't work. So if you want to, go ahead and post your question in chat. Okay. The next thing you want to think about is your profile picture, your photograph. So it should look like you on your best day when you're meeting your best client. I think a professional photo, headshot, clean background, use a high quality, approachable looking photo, and you can select a banner image that go behind it that really reflects your industry or your brand. And these days, AI can help with your photo too. There's tools like Aragon that you can upload, I think it's like 6 selfies, and it will give you very professional looking headshots from your just selfies you take on your phone. Then you could use that selfie to turn that into an animated avatar video and give your tips on LinkedIn on an avatar video that looks and sounds just like you, but you are just directing it. You don't have to be on camera. So let me show you an example of that. I think sharing your wins and milestones is a great idea for a topic on LinkedIn. So, well, let me have my avatar show you what I mean.
Here's the truth. Silence doesn't inspire anyone, but your wins do. Sharing your wins isn't bragging. It's proof of the impact you're making. When you post about an accomplishment, you're not just patting yourself on the back. You're giving others insight, encouragement, and maybe even permission to celebrate their own progress. So here's your challenge. Think of a recent win, big or small, and share it today. Let people see the good work you're doing. And if you want more ideas to share your story with confidence, follow along with me at Harmony 3 Productions.
So yeah, that's AI, Ronnie. And yes, I would consider her a glow up. But how great is that where you can see it, create it, type it in? Oh, I see somebody said no sound. It's sounding fine on my end. So double check whether your volume might be down. Let me know in chat. Is anybody else having any problems with sound or do you hear it fine? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people saying they do hear it. So double check your sound volume could be it. So basically I uploaded to, again, the platform is called Aragon. 6 selfies that were, okay looking, but didn't look totally professional. And it gives me all of these different options to use. And then I can take it into another program. The one I used was Hey Jen, makes a talking avatar out of it that I can use, just type in the text and use for posting, because video is so important pretty much for all of the different platforms these days. The next thing you have is your About section. So that should be compelling. Lead with your unique value proposition. What's your differentiator? What sets you apart from other people that are doing the same thing that you do? Then weave in 3 to 5 industry keywords for SEO, right? And then keep it client focused. So I help with blah, 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 so that you can do blah, blah, blah. Whatever your audience's pain point, that's what you help with. Them being a success story, that's their end that you can help them get to. That's why they would be following you. That's why they would be looking for your content. That's why the algorithm would show them your stuff, is because you are an answer to what they're actually searching for. So again, I use AI for help in writing that About section. And being keyword rich can absolutely help for SEO discovery on LinkedIn. And how does it help? Well, it can identify which keywords are ideal for your clients. Most importantly, what your clients or audience is actually looking for in the search bar. And it can help you naturally weave those into your profile. So for example, a marketing consultant might learn that lead generation strategy or B2B content marketing or fractional CMO are high value search terms. AI can help you find what those search terms are for your business. And then you can update your profile accordingly. If those are things that you can help with, absolutely they should be in your profile. And that boosts the discoverability for your page on LinkedIn without sounding robotic. All right, a little bit more AI help. So AI can help with your profile alignment and clarity. Now, clarity just means that when people read it, it makes sense and it's clear to them. But alignment is aligning with your target audience. AI can review your profile and flag areas that might be unclear or inconsistent or a little bit vague. And it can give you ideas for prompts that you would put into AI. It will help you help it to help you. It might have gotten lost there, but you can use a prompt like, does my profile clearly say who I am and how I help? You could ask AI, what type of client would be most attracted to this profile? That would be good to know. How about rewrite this to sound more client focused? The result then becomes a profile that speaks to the reader and not just being a resume. So I'm showing you these examples of headers that go behind your photo. It's your banner on your LinkedIn profile. Using something like Canva, and these are all templates in Canva, makes it easy to customize it, have it look like your brand, which is what you want. I see so many profiles that they just have that gray generic template placeholder for their banner. And it looks like you just didn't know that you get to put one in there and customize it. So I absolutely encourage my clients, I do it for myself, to make that banner really reflect who you are and what your business is. So then you've also got your profile link. So when you first set up your profile, or it's still there if you've never gone in and adjusted it, when you first set it up, it's just a bunch of letters and numbers. How much better would it be if it was your name or your business name in there? So mine, they all start with, www.linkedin.com/in for LinkedIn, another / and then my name, Ronnie Ramis. Simple. But when I started my profile, it was just numbers and random numbers and letters. So make sure that you go in and edit it so that you can put your name in there. But sometimes your name or your whatever you want to have it, your abbreviated initials or whatever, it might be taken. So just know that you can customize it a little bit. You can maybe put in, one of the services you do, or underscore or hyphen or your business name in there, something to make it unique to you. So these are all the steps. So you're going to get access to the video, and Irene said it might be a week or so before it's up there, but then you can just pause it and take a screenshot, or you can take a screenshot of it now. But basically, you're going to go to your profile and open the public profile settings, and then you'll see where it says edit public profile in the URL. You just type in what you want. If it's not available, you'll have to finesse it a little bit. If you have a common name, you might have to finesse it so that that you hit it when it's available. And then you just click save, and then it becomes your URL for your LinkedIn profile. All right. Then you are going to have your experience section. And a lot of people, I think, still treat, even if you're a business and using LinkedIn for business, still treat your profile like a resume. I want it to be describing your achievements, not just the responsibilities that you have. And use metrics. We like numbers, and you could say, increase lead generation by 40% in 6 months. What does that have going for it? It's a percentage that you increased in a set amount of time. That's great. That's proof. But you got to make sure that what you're putting up there is correct. There's a lot of ramifications for putting stats that aren't correct, or even I've seen testimonials that aren't correct. So always represent yourself honestly and authentically. All right. Then you have sections for skills and endorsements on those skills, and people to recommend you, or you recommending people. Pin your top 5 skills that match your target audience, what they're looking for, to the top of your profile. So you can pin 5 of them. Use your top ones that people are actually searching for. And then definitely request 2 to 3 recommendations or endorsements from clients or colleagues, people that are, pretty much willing to help you out and give you an endorsement or a recommendation, because all of that helps build the strength of your platform's profile. And LinkedIn likes a very well filled out profile. They're much more likely to show your posts and helpful information if you've filled out everything that you can on your profile itself. Definitely think about using video. Multimedia can be video, it can be carousel posts, it can be putting up case studies, even a presentation. But definitely keep your stuff current and up to date, and don't be afraid to really highlight your latest successes. And what about impressions? And if you're not using LinkedIn a lot, you might go, impressions, what's that? I know about shares and likes and follows. What's an impression? LinkedIn is unique in that a lot of people look at your stuff, but they don't always comment or share it or let you know that they've seen it. But LinkedIn knows that's an impression, and it will give you those numbers in the analytics on each individual post. So track those impressions. If you're getting a lot of impressions, obviously something's going right on your posts. So here's some more key metrics to monitor on your LinkedIn profile. Your profile itself and your individual post views. You can see who's checking you out and which posts draw the biggest audiences. What about that engagement rate, right? How are you doing overall? Well, your likes and comments and shares and your impressions, that formula shows you how compelling your content is. What about follower growth? Track net new followers over time to measure your audience expansion. And what about checking out the demographics and industries that the people that are engaging with your page are in? Understanding those job titles and locations and sectors for your viewers That's very good intel for you in terms of what type of content to create. And click-through rate, gauge how often your calls to action actually drive traffic to your website or where you want them to go. So regularly checking all of those numbers helps you spot trends, like which topics are sparking the most conversation or which headlines are really driving clicks, so that you can double down on what's actually working. Let's see, I see a question here. So track the post impressions. What about looking at who's looked at your profile? Absolutely. So LinkedIn will show you some of the information on who has looked at your profile. If you're in the free account, they show you less than if you're in one of the paid tiers, but the free account works really well for most of us. Looking at who has looked at your profile can give you some intel. Why are they looking at your profile? You might find a company you've really wanted to connect with, and you see that somebody from that company checked you out. Maybe you look at what they're posting. Maybe you could comment on one of their posts. Maybe you could engage with them. All of that intel that is available to each of us is really good, and we need to spend the time and tease through it. Even asking AI, how can I utilize this information that I have, that these people are looking at my profile, but they're not really following me? What should I do next? My, off the top of my head, would be go see what some of their posts about. If it's interesting to you, if maybe you could make some valuable comment to it, would be worth doing. All right. So your profile and your post views. So you can check your overall profile views, who's looking at you, and you can check the individual posts views. So I recommend doing both. You want to see who's looking at you, and you want to understand which of your posts are resonating. Now, what about getting that access to the demographic breakdown? Absolutely. The profile views, you can go to Me, view your profile, your Me page, your dashboard, and you can see profile views, see all. You can switch to the demographics tab and see the top locations, industries, job functions, and seniority levels of who has looked at your page. Now, it's not going to give you the name here, but you will get sectors that gives you a lot of great information. Now, you can pick any post on your feed, and then you can click the analytics below it on the actual post itself and select demographics. Then you can review the distribution of your audience by industry, by function, seniority, and region. Then you can also filter and export that information for deeper insights, and then interpret the data that you get and act on it. You could identify maybe your top 3 industries that are reacting to your content, and then tailor content examples and maybe case studies to things that they struggle with, to their challenges. And make note of unexpected segments that might pop up. Explore why they're engaging, and maybe that's a sector you didn't even realize that you were important to. And think about comparing the seniority levels of who is looking at your content, and adjust the tone if you need to. Maybe the tone needs to be a little more strategic if it's mostly executives looking at your posts, or maybe more tactical if it's managers. But mainly, I want you to realize that you have to start. It's on you. Follow, like, and comment on people in your industry that are industry leaders or that you want to connect with. People get notified if you follow them. Will they follow you back? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But engagement does work. Other people are going to see your engagement, and that's just more visibility for you. Definitely be authentic in your engagement. I think connecting and following industry leaders in your sector is a wonderful place to start. You also get the added bonus of learning a lot in your field if you're reading their posts. Now, what if you're reading one of their posts and you have something that you could really add of value to that post? 100% you comment with that insight, because other people read the comments And they might be like, wow, that person really added something important to that. I'm going to go check out their page. So that's what I mean. You start, follow, like, and comment. Okay, let's see. I see another question here. At events, this is Jet saying he takes group photos and tag the people in the photos. Are hashtags important? I think hashtags are done, but I think keywords and key phrases are very important. Hashtags across pretty much all the social channels now, people are using them less and less. So I am moving to keywords and key phrases, and I'm encouraging my clients to do the same. Now, if you are at an event and that event says, a lot of events will still say, use our hashtag so we can find you all, then yes, absolutely use it. But for most things, keywords, key phrases, tagging people that if you're doing photos in an event, right? And there's people in your group, you're all like shaking hands or whatever, absolutely tag them, because maybe then they will share that on their page. Again, more eyes on you. And I would specifically put not just the photo, like, hey, great event. Let them know some little nugget that you got out of it. Always be giving something of value, of education, of entertainment with your posts, because that's the kind of thing that will spark conversation. On a post like that, you might even say, my favorite part of this event was XYZ, whatever it was. And you could say, what was yours? I think that's a good way to get some engagement. All right, now your posts. You have to know what people are looking for. What do you offer that makes something easier for them? Share and offer value. That is why people would follow you, that you are giving valuable stuff to them. Tag companies or people, and we were just talking about tagging people, only if it's relevant to that specific post. So for the example that we talked about at an event, tagging people makes total sense, right? Don't spam. So you're not going to tag those same people on a post next week, hoping they'll look at that post too. That would be spamming. Okay. Jet was saying, can I give some examples? So I think I did. If there's another type of example you want, go ahead and post in chat. I'll see what I can do for you. The other thing to think about is timing. So I do tend to post during business hours, say 8 to 1, but I'm here on the Pacific time, and that's when I post. If I'm never going to hit 8 to 1 on Central Time and 8 to 1 on Eastern Time and Pacific Time all at the same time, that's just not going to happen. So I go by my business time, morning, usually 8 to 1. Typically I don't post in the afternoon because afternoon, face it, I think we're all like tired and want to go home. But LinkedIn is unique. It's different than other platforms. And I love this, that it gives your posts a longer lifespan. So its algorithm prioritizes relevance over recency. And that means it can often resurface a post from a long time ago that people are looking for, that they're searching for something. And then all of a sudden your post starts popping up, an older post. That's great. Most of the other social channels do not do that. So in LinkedIn, a single post can really continue to gain traction way long after it's originally published. And then the bottom line is really storytelling. We as humans, we're storytellers. So that use of that genre of communication works so well on LinkedIn. So personal stories, you can highlight lessons that you've had, wins like the sample I showed you, or challenges that you're facing. Maybe there's just aha moments in your business journey. It's a good idea to share little nuggets like that are a little more personal rather than just business, business, business all the time. And it helps people connect with you as a person. That storytelling, it builds trust and it shows your values, and it can really make your content a lot more memorable. So here's a couple of action tips for you. Today, post something valuable. Maybe it's a story, maybe it's an insight or a tip, something's going to help your audience. Then make it a point to engage with 5 to 10 people. Comment on posts. Start real conversations. There's a lot of LinkedIn groups that a lot of you could value from. There's groups in your industry. As I said, even just that network capability that that platform offers is amazing. But engage somehow with 5 to 10 different people. It can be people that are already your contacts, people that you want to contact, people that you would love to have follow you, follow them. Then definitely optimize your LinkedIn headline. Make sure it's clear and benefit driven and searchable. Think about using interactive content, and that helps start that conversation. So interactive, I mean polls, questions, choose your favorite this or that, carousel posts that invite those clicks, and comments and shares. Why does that work? Because LinkedIn's algorithm loves engagement, and so do your connections. The bonus is that interactive posts often spark conversations. So if a conversation gets started, if somebody starts asking you something, you reply back. Keep that conversation going. So try LinkedIn polls or maybe carousel posts. Now, what about video? Well, your face builds trust. And your voice, it really helps build that connection. And your video, I think it helps build business. So this photo that you're looking at, the person is holding their camera horizontal. These days, hold it vertical. So I kind of say go tall or go home. It's important that you, as a business owner, appear that you are aware of what's going on social. And what's going on with video on social is it's mostly vertical. So jump on board. You don't want to look like you're not aware of what the current trends are. And I'm not saying jump on every trend, far from it. But something as big as vertical video, I think is worth absolutely posting your own videos in the vertical format. For each video that you make, just have one thing. Share one smart thing. If you're like, well, I have 10 things I want to talk about. Good. That's 10 different videos. Start strong. Have a strong hook to get people to stop the scroll and look at your video. And absolutely use captions. Captions are not just for people who absolutely need them, and there are many people who do, but a lot of people watch their videos with the sound off anyway. Most important, talk like a human. Talk as if you're talking to a friend or a business associate across the table, like you're having coffee. Be human. That can help make those connections. So video on LinkedIn, yes, please. I also want you to post on a regular schedule. If you can commit to 5 times a week, wow, gold star. Can you realistically commit to 3 times a week? Maybe. That would be awesome. Can you commit to 1 time a week? I think so. Even that, I applaud you if you can consistently do that. Because algorithms, they like consistency. And algorithm can absolutely help you out. Know that if LinkedIn is showing you content from people in your area of interest, it's doing the same for people that you don't know who might be interested in your valuable content. So it's showing you content that's also based on what your connections are engaging with. So remember to follow and connect with people in your field. On LinkedIn, as I said, it starts with your personal page. You can't have a business page unless you have a personal page. And LinkedIn is mostly about your personal page. On LinkedIn, you are the brand. So how do you get noticed? My best tip is for you to just be you. It's your genuine thoughts on a subject. And like I said before, combine a little bit of the personal with the professional. The goal, I think, for all of us on LinkedIn, because it's B2B, is to be credible. And big credibility can help your brand, because then people view you as that thought leader, that trusted expert. So how can you get big credibility? Well, nurture it. Ways to establish it, you could think about maybe speaking on other people's podcasts. Maybe there's panels, webinars. What about publishing original research papers or case studies? You all have case studies, things that you have done successfully. If clients don't want to be named, and a lot of clients, don't want, to be named in a case study, but you can generalize things and not give any specifics. Anything that you're going to be posting online and relates to somebody else, I always get that in writing that they're okay with that. Otherwise, you can say, something very general. Have ChatGPT help you formulate something that is general and in no way affects your relationship and your client confidentiality with one of your clients, because you do not want to do that. What about collaborating with other industry leaders to cross-promote the expertise that you both have? And a pro tip, position yourself as a leader by teaching what you already know. You don't need to be the best in your field. You just need to be willing to share what you already know. You're here in this webinar as a business owner. You know a lot of stuff, and the stuff that you know is probably very helpful to a lot of people. All right. This year is flying by, but it's still pretty brand new year. So what does brand you mean in 2026? Well, I think it's how people experience you before they ever say a word, before they see your website. They're probably going to check out your social. Before they meet you, they're probably going to check out your social. And your LinkedIn should reflect who you are in your most positive light. Brand isn't just what we say, it's how we make people feel. And today, I really want to give you those kind of practical things you can think of so that you can align how you show up online with the person that you really are, because those first impressions really work for you. Let's see, I see a question about how you create a business page. You only have a personal page. Everybody starts with a personal page. You cannot have a business page without starting with the personal page. You were told to have more than 500 followers to be considered successful. Not necessarily. Yes, 500 followers is kind of like this benchmark that, the first time that LinkedIn will say, oh, 500 plus followers. You are not successful on LinkedIn related to how many followers you have. You can be building your following and still be very successful. The goal is to utilize any platform that you're on is to get people aware of your brand. So yes, the more connections you have, but you could still have fewer connections and have great content that a lot of people were viewing, then, they're probably going to ask to connect with you. So you do find value in connections, but the most value is in the type of content that you are giving that is valuable to your audience. Once you have, I think you have to have a fully, robust personal profile before you can have a business page. But there's a few other parameters that you could either ask ChatGPT about or just go to the LinkedIn FAQ page. You could just type in setting up a business page in LinkedIn in their help section. You have to have your personal profile up for a certain amount of time before you can have a business account, and you have to have a certain number of connection. It is not 500, it's way under that. I can't remember exactly whether it's 20, 25, something like that. It's not hundreds. And then you fill out, just like we're talking about, the headline, the profile, the image. For your business page, probably going to be more your logo rather than your headshot. But if you have a business page, your posts, I believe, should go on your business page first, and then you share them to your personal page. So You post to your business page first, then you share it to your personal page, because chances are you're going to have a lot more connections, especially in the beginning, on your personal page than you will on your business page. And that way you can utilize both of them to help grow both of them. Let's see. Roxy said, your question was about how to make a talking avatar, but then you answered. Okay, perfect. Hey, Jen. Yes, that was what I did use for that. Okay, some LinkedIn tips to start now. LinkedIn is paying much more attention to the actual language in the post than anything added at the end. So months ago, last year, or whatever, people would stack the bottom of their posts with hashtags. And even now we're seeing people stack the bottom of their posts with, keywords and key phrases. The algorithm's kind of wise to that. So the words you use them in full sentences, whether it's industry terms or role titles or natural business phrases. You're going to help LinkedIn understand your content, and they look at the context overall, because that's how the algorithm is going to be able to understand your content and let the algorithm work to show it to people who are looking for that exact thing. That's why you want to be aware of the keywords and especially key phrases that your audience is putting in the search bar. And maybe you have an answer to that. So put that key phrase in your content. So the takeaway, rely on keywords and phrases your audience actually uses when they search or when they're reading or when they're scrolling. Because hashtags are, I think, on their way out. They're a little optional, but keywords are not optional. All right. What about leaving that conversation open? And what do I mean by that? Posts that explain everything tend to end the conversation. Posts that leave one thought unfinished, it invites people to step in and give an answer or give an opinion. We all love to give our opinion. An incomplete post doesn't mean it's vague, it means it's focused. So what could that look like? It could be a clear idea without the conclusion. An example could be, the hardest part of building a personal brand isn't visibility. That's it, full stop. The conversation starts because you could ask a simple question at the end. What do you think it is? See how you're making a statement. You're not giving the answer. You're asking for them to join in the conversation. What if nobody joins in? Well, you can continue the conversation in your first comment. So that, again, working with the algorithm, that's more engagement. You're adding to the value from your original post. So incomplete posts, I think they invite a little bit of conversation. All right. I also hear a lot of talk about if you put a link in your LinkedIn post, does it kind of work against you in terms of reach? Well, I don't think that links are bad on LinkedIn. I use links all the time, but sometimes you do find value in timing it a little differently. So nobody knows exactly how the algorithm works, right? But the comments that you see and hear from people who know or think they know, that links inside the main post could slow down your distribution early. So if you need a link, place it in the first comment or add it back to your first post. You can always add to your post after the engagement starts. Posting is really only half of the strategy. The real reach comes from responding to comments, engaging with other people's posts, and being visible after you hit publish. And what I mean by that is, if you make a post and then you walk away and go about your business that day, what if people are commenting? You want to be able to be aware when people are, you can get notifications, just comment back, keep that conversation going, because LinkedIn rewards your presence, not just posting. In terms of sales, and whether we have a product or a service, we're selling, so that's our business. We're in business to sell something, widgets or a service. The old way of doing it is cold calls. I'm sure on LinkedIn, you've all gotten a lot of those direct messages that just like, who is this? It's just endless chasing, following up on leads that were never qualified. If you're, if this is your outreach, that's a lot of work that's really just a numbers game where success just is grinding harder, not smarter. And I think you deserve better, and I know your prospects expect better. So, what could change these days in terms of getting people to use your product or your service? Well, it's a strategic shift from pushing out, sell, buy this, to pulling the attention to you. That is the shift. Having people think your stuff is so valuable that they want to follow you. And when they need you, they're already following you, they're going to find you. It can really help with what you're looking to do for your business. You can leverage that kind of engagement to, work on the scale of your business without the proportional effort that a lot of those cold calls take. It gives you quality leads, fewer but better qualified prospects, and efficiencies, shorter sales cycles. They already know you. They already value the content that you are putting. So by the time they reach out to you, it's like they know you. You've already built that trust, that credibility, that positioning as the obvious choice. AI doesn't just help you target better, it fundamentally changes how you can attract and engage prospects. By utilizing an AI tool, you can have conversations with it, have a strategy meeting with it on how can I do this, change the way that I get people to see my post by attracting them rather than just trying to say sell, right? That's how I use AI, is to actually brainstorm with. So the old way, pushing out, interrupting your prospects when they're not expecting to hear from you, when your message is convenient for you. The new way is pulling it in, creating what we call magnetic content that's pulling them in. And it's experiences that draw prospects to you when they're ready. That's what shortens that sales cycle. So some other things to think of in terms of how AI could help you with whatever your goal is. Is it leads? Is it selling a product? Is it selling a service? AI can help you write that magnetic content. Like I said, you can brainstorm, what about doing a micro webinar or doing a roundtable for people in your industry? AI can help you build the scripts, the slides, write the promotional copy to promote your event. You can have AI help you deploy quizzes, and for an example, you could say, what's your sales efficiency score? And you could have that quiz already set up and send it to them if they connect with you on LinkedIn, or give you their email if you want to send it in an email. And listen through LinkedIn. Like I said, there's a lot of analytics that it will give you, and definitely use those analytics to create your post so it's really geared towards your audience. AI can help with a lot of this stuff. And a lot of times all you have to do is ask AI how it can help you formulate questions to ask it so it can give you better answers. It's not just typing into an AI, my business is this, what should I post on LinkedIn? Well, it will give you something, but it will probably be pretty generic. Give it the most information you can, but I never give AI any proprietary information, and I highly recommend you don't either, because where's it going? Is it being trained on something? I'm not afraid to redact documents and put those in, but heavily redacted, and I'm just very careful on what I give it. I can give it very kind of overall encompassing content that I can get a good response from, but anything private or proprietary, no, I'm not sharing with an AI. I want you to make a LinkedIn post today. You don't need a big recap of your company or what you do, or you don't need a perfect photo. Just share one insight, one takeaway, and one idea that reflects how you think or how you work. And those small, consistent posts are going to keep you visible and keep conversations going. So, like I said, I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can scan this QR code and it will take you right to my LinkedIn page. But we have a few minutes, so I want to open it up and see if you have any specific questions on LinkedIn, or if you want to see how I use AI to help write a post. We can take your type of industry and see what we can come up with for that. So if anybody wants to raise their hand, and I can unmute you and we can actually have a conversation and answer some LinkedIn questions. Jet, go ahead and unmute.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much. I'm really
Absolutely. Thank
enjoying
you.
this class.
Thank you for playing along.
Yeah, so yes, I would love to see you use AI for a post,
Okay.
or really it would be an interactive type of post, like a quiz. I have a seminar called Aging Well,
Okay.
and maybe something like that, you know. And then secondly, would you be able to host a class? I would love to learn how to make a talking avatar. Um,
I
oh,
definitely teach webinars on it, and yeah,
okay.
let's reach out to Pace and see if they will schedule one. But yes, I do teach on that. And you can always reach out to me, and I have a list of webinars on my website.
And then the other thing was it was really hard because I do other Pace LA classes. I had a really hard time finding the link. Is there an easier way for me
So
to
that is a
some
question, Irene. Do you have an answer for that?
or a way that I can put it in my calendar, the link in my calendar?
So you can go to our website and there is e-library and you can find the past webinar or
I think
upcoming
she's
webinar.
asking about the link for this webinar, for like
This
future
webinar,
webinars.
yeah. So it's gonna be on the e-webinar, e-library about week or 2 weeks later.
No, I think she's talking about so she could join. She couldn't
Yeah,
find the
Okay.
link to
usually
join.
the many of the other SPDCs they send out,
Mm-hmm.
the day before or a couple hours before they'll send you a link
Yeah,
reminder.
yeah.
This one you sent a group, it's a series, so there was only one link, and
Oh, okay.
some reason I couldn't put it in my calendar, so I
Mhm.
had a very difficult time finding because I take other Pace LA classes.
Okay.
So is there a way for me to be able to download the link for the next meeting into my calendar?
It's the same link for this series. So
Oh,
Yeah,
you
okay.
could
same
just
link.
yeah, so you could copy that link and put it in your calendar.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's what I'll do then. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so what give me one sentence that explains what your business is.
Oh, well, it's free, informative website shops designed to help seniors and caregivers navigate aging with confidence.
Okay.
And so it's about planning ahead, you know.
So I'm just typing in workshops to
Okay.
help seniors and caregivers age
Uh,
with confidence.
yeah,
We're just going through it.
navigate aging with confidence. So we teach them how to plan ahead, and it's free, and it's just the introductory meeting the first time, and then later we'll do a 12-week program, and it's all free.
Okay.
So it's about them deciding what they want to do, aging in place, or downsize, or move to assisted living.
Okay, so I'm just typing this into ChatGPT.
Okay.
It doesn't know you, but it does know me and it knows my attendees. So I think it's going to give us some good ideas. Now, if you're brand new to ChatGPT, you might have to give it more information, but let's see what it says. So I'm saying workshops to help seniors and caregivers navigate age with confidence. I have an attendee looking to promote on LinkedIn, give best suggestions. So let's see what.
Oh, but we want something
let's
interactive.
just see what it says first, right?
Okay. Yeah, because I want to learn how to do like, what's your aging well score or something. That's what my thought was.
For LinkedIn push, I'd steer towards education first, which is what you just said, and promotion second, which is what I said.
Okay.
Strongest angle is not come to my workshop, but here's a real challenge seniors and caregivers face, and here's what this workshop will help with. That fits LinkedIn better because it's practical. Look at the great information it's giving you. Best suggestions. Lead with the problem they solve. And like I said, it doesn't know you, but I've worked with it enough. But I think wherever you start with ChatGPT, you can get stuff of this quality. Now, you said specifically you wanted an interactive piece to your webinar. What are you looking in terms of that interactive?
Well, I liked what you said about like you said something about what's your blah 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 score. What if we did what's your aging well score? You know, do they have an advanced directive? Do they have a trust? Do they know where they want to live when they can't drive anymore?
Okay.
You know, things like that. Okay, so it's score sheet.
I'm just making this up as I go along.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bless you.
So how to make an interactive piece for that? Could there be a score sheet for knowledge? Let's see what it says.
Okay, so you call it a course score sheet.
Yes, that could work well, but I would frame it less like a test and more like a confidence check. Oh, I like that. Or a readiness scorecard. See, it's doing really good.
Can you go down? I took a picture of it. Can you give me all of it so I can take a picture?
So for seniors and caregivers, score
slide it.
Hold on. I'm just so everybody can kind of see what it's giving.
Oh, okay.
It's giving you so much good information. Are you ready? Aging confidence check, caregiver confidence scorecard, daily support, family communication, resources and planning, then total it up. This is exactly what you asked for. You could also make it more engaging in a workshop by having people fill it out privately. Yep, you always have to be careful of HIPAA and anything else that they have in there. So yes, absolutely. But a great place to start, right? It answered the question we put in there. So for any of you, don't, just like you said, you took a picture of it. Don't ever use anything word for word without you putting your own experience and expertise on it.
Okay.
Be the human. AI can make mistakes. I have had it make mistakes for me, big mistakes. You have to read through everything, but it gave you great information to start, right? But it can't replace you. You are the value. You are that business. So I love that it's helpful, but you have to drive. You have to be the human behind it. So thank you so much, everybody, for playing along today and getting excited. I hope you're excited about LinkedIn. Like I said, I would love to have you follow me on LinkedIn. I'd love to see the stuff that you are posting, and I hope to see you at another webinar really, really soon.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.